What's going on, guys? It's DB the Prophet, and I'm shooting this video for the ladies out there today. I'm hoping that you guys get some value from this, but I want to teach you a lesson about communication through an example where uh, usually this example is made by men to women, but women never understand the lesson until it's between a woman and a woman. And so for the longest time, I've been trying to explain to young Black women the consequences of disrespectful communication. Men are far less disrespectful when it comes to communication than women are. And the reason why is because most women do not understand that when it comes to communication with men, there's always an underlying threat of violence that protects both parties from engaging in disrespectful behaviors. So, for example, as a younger male, you're going to learn by sixth grade that you cannot say anything that you want to say to anybody you want to say it to because the consequences are going to be physical, right? You can't teach young boys, or young girls are not taught to hit young ladies, in response to being disrespectful via communication. But there was an example on the Whatever podcast that I want you guys to take a look at, where a woman who happens to be a fighter, she does Muay Thai, she gets caught in a conversation where someone who had been disrespecting her online, she saw this person in person, and now it's time to confront the issue and listen to what the girl has to say. Give me one sec. Let me pull this video up for you guys. Listen to this.
Are you guys gonna box? Is that what's
What happened? I thought you said you wanted to. You're the one who
For
was running
10K?
your mouth. I'll do it for free. You can stand up if you want to.
damn right now? No, we should no
No.
table.
Don't say that. You should stop talking and running your mouth
I
online.
said for 10K, I will fight you. That's
Don't
not
Can
true.
you change this
Like that. If you're not a person who gets down, just
No, no.
let it go. 4 times on a podcast, you ran your mouth. I'm cool with everybody, but once you start saying stuff like that, I'm with it and you're not. So cállate, like I told you last time. And then you're all quiet
for the
now. You had a
other
big
split,
mouth
yeah.
last time. That's the thing I'm getting bothered by. You're acting so, oh, what happened? What happened?
Was that not like 2 years ago?
Dude, you just was on a podcast. Why are you acting?
You guys hear the gaslighting on behalf of this woman? The woman confronts her about things that she's been communicating online. And she says, "We can fight for free. You can stand up right now." The girl, you can tell, is very intimidated. She doesn't really want there to be any violent occurrence. And this is something that a lot of women do. A lot of women, they allow their emotions to affect what's happening upstairs. And what they think is, they think that a way for them to express their inner aggression is by disrespectful communication. Men are not allowed to have disrespectful communication towards each other because things get physical, like things we're about to get right here. And notice what the girl says. She says, um, if you're not one of the people that gets down, you should just close your mouth. And it's interesting when you see a woman check another woman for communicating disrespectfully, because in the same regards, there are tons of women on the internet that are berating and being as disrespectful as possible towards men, but men are not allowed to go to a woman and say, "Hey, you say one more thing and I'm gonna slap you across the face." Now it's domestic violence. You understand? So what ends up happening is women often are never checked on what respectful communication is, because there's never been a consequence to disrespectful communication for women. Let's listen to the rest of the video.
I haven't seen you. I think it's the last time I saw you was
The
single.
gaslighting is
in
crazy.
2020.
She calls her out on the gaslighting. She says, "The last time I saw you was 2 years ago." That's not relevant. Disrespect is disrespect. And women typically are the ones that feel comfortable, and they will gaslight you for making them accountable for the way that they communicate with others, right? This is a huge problem that women have. And if more women were in situations where someone like this called them out on it and wanted to run that fade, women would learn through physical consequences that there's a problem in the way that women believe and feel entitled to be able to communicate with the outside world because they've been protected by society, right?
Nah,
22.
bro. Literally,
I don't
you
really
should
like
pull it up,
care
so-
that much about that
Then you
stuff.
should. The
10.
And notice, instead of addressing that she did what the person is calling her out on, she says, I just don't care that much about that stuff. This is very, very typical female behavior. When they're called out and they're forced to be accountable, they'll just say they don't care.
Damn.
That's it.
So-
Stop talking. That's it. You don't want to scrap, so that's stop talking, please.
Wonder again, for 10K, I would gladly get you a
I'm not
box.
gonna do anything for 10K.
Well, why would
you quote for 10K?
That's fine. That's 10K. I still have at the end of the day. Those wounds will heal.
Are you guys gonna box?
You guys hear this? So with that being said, now I'm shooting this video and I want to talk to you young ladies. Ladies, watch the way that you communicate, especially with men, because women understand that there's a power dynamic between men and women. This becomes a lot of women's excuse to not have the respect for men to communicate in a way that is respectful. And there is a lost respect between women and men. And with this pushing agenda for equality, even though there's no such thing as equality in nature, we are seeing that men are no longer tolerating this, right? Women are no longer tolerating this kind of behavior. But for women, this behavior is allowed to continue for much longer than it would for a boy. A boy would have figured out what this girl just figured out here today by 6th grade. But for her, this might be the first time ever in her life where she was actually being confronted with real physical violence as a result of her own choices and the way that she chose to communicate. So ladies, just real quick, I want you to make a note of this to see how important this is, right? So that you can start to improve your communication style so that it doesn't breed resentment and create conflict with the people that you're communicating with. As a feminine woman, one of the biggest things you should be trying to do is communicate in a way that is influential, that gets people on your side, as opposed to creating enemies, because clearly the physicality of conflict does not benefit the average feminine woman. Okay, so keep that in mind today. Quick video tip for you guys. Be careful and be mindful of how you communicate with women and men.